Hi, welcome to First Things First. This is the show where you learn how to build a thriving nonprofit and live inspired. And today I want to talk with you about how to build a profile, a fundraising profile of your board members. Now, we all dream about having board members, all of our board members, gleefully going out and asking friends and family and donors for money, right? But the truth of the matter is, we know, oh boy, do I know, and I know you know, that getting all of our board members to do that is like asking them to volunteer for a root canal. It's impossible. And we know that we don't want all of our board members out there asking for money because, frankly, some people really stink at it. And what happens when you have people who stink at raising money? Well, you can lose the donation, you can get a smaller donation, you might lose the donor because the donor's upset, or the donor could get upset and tell other people, and you might even lose the board member because they don't feel comfortable asking for money. So what we want to do, we want people to help support the fundraising efforts of the organization by doing the things that they want to do, using their gifts and skills and influence, as well as their availability. So what I'm going to be doing is talking to you about these categories of fundraising that you can slot your board members into, all right? And those categories range from, having great closers and leaders and people who are champions of your cause and great connectors and hosts and even supporters. And we're going to go through each of those 6 categories. Now, the reason why this is good is because once you know what people are good at, you can see the composition of your board, meaning you'll know where you're strong and where you're weak, and then you can go find new board members, right? Not only rebalance your current board, but you can also go look for new board members that might be able to fill in these other categories or help you balance out the fundraising efforts and the abilities of your board. So let's get started. Let me go through each of these 6 categories, okay? The first category is leaders. These people have fundraising expertise. They understand the processes and tactics that need to be in place for a board to succeed at fundraising. They know how to lead and inspire other board members to accomplish the fundraising tasks at hand. Number 2 are the champions. These are the people who are enthusiastic ambassadors. They love the stage and enjoy telling compelling stories to get people excited and engaged about the great work you're doing in the community and to get people involved. Use these folks to speak at public venues, civic functions, or at corporate functions to spread the great news of all the wonderful work you're doing in the community. Number 3 are the connectors. These people know people. They have valuable networks of friends and business associates. If they don't have a direct connection to a person you'd like to reach, they're only one phone call away from someone who does. This is a great role for busy CEOs and executives on your board. Number 4 are the hosts. These are people that love to host parties and small events, or at least help organize them. They have the gift of hospitality. They love to decorate, cook, and mingle. They enjoy managing the details of events to make them memorable. Boutique events, also known as salon events, are a great way to engage major donors in the work you're doing. Give your hosts the reins they need to organize a memorable and profitable event. Number 5 are the closers. These people are willing to ask people for anything, money, in-kind gifts, and probably just as important as money is asking for favors. Closers are confident, likable, engaging, and interesting people. They know how to craft an ask that inspires donors to joyfully say yes. They understand donor stewardship is the key to long-term fundraising success, and they're good at it. Get these folks a list of your top donors or potential donors and send them out into the wild to ask for money. And once they secure a gift, engage your closers in your long-term stewardship activities. And number 6, supporters. These people are the unsung heroes of a fundraising team. They provide crucial back office support that keeps the entire fundraising process flowing smoothly. marketing, follow-up, event planning, phone calls, and administrative duties. They are willing to roll up their sleeves and do the tedious work few people ever see, such as cleaning up after an event, licking envelopes, and updating donor profiles in a donor database. Now, to put this exercise into place is really simple. All you need to do at your next board meeting is bring a Post-it pad or even on a whiteboard, and you're just going to create a big grid. And across the top, you'll put each of the set categories, right? Those will be columns. And then leave enough room on the row side for each of your board members. And then you'll go through the 6 categories, which I'll explain in a minute how you do that. But then you'll have them come up, and then they get to choose 3 categories only, and they rank them from 1 to 3 in terms of their interest and ability that they want to contribute to your fundraising efforts. So for example, let's say you have a board member named Kim, and she has this amazing contact list, and she feels that can be her biggest contribution is making connections, right? So she would put a 1 under the connector category. Then let's say she loves to host parties, and she would like to host a party, and she's excited about it. So she might put 2 under host. And then she says, well, I have extra time on the weekends, and I would love to support the fundraising efforts just to do anything in the back office. And she would put a 3 in the supporter category. It's that simple. So all the board members would go through this process, but what you see in the end, when the grid is completed, you see where you're strong and you're weak. And you might have, what usually happens anyway, is you'll have a lot of people who say they're champions or even connectors, but you're not going to probably have a lot of people who chose closers. And that is where you might be weak, and on your leaders. And so what you can do is reshuffle and rebalance your fundraising profiles, because many times the people who are the best champions of the organization, who really can articulate the great work you're doing, that means they're good speakers, right? And they can tell the stories. And those people make really good askers and closers. And it doesn't take much training, or maybe even just a little nudging, to get them out there asking people for money. In summary, I hope you learned a little bit more about why it's important to build a fundraising profile for your board, so you can see where you're strong and where you're weak as it relates to the gifts and skills that your board members have and what their interests are. Because it's important, if you want to get your board members excited about raising money, they need to be doing the things that they're excited about, where their gifts are and their abilities. Now, all this exercise is in my book called Cloudburst, which is on my website, tomiselin.com, and it's there at cost. I make no money on the books. I give all the money to wounded veteran organizations and hunger relief organizations. And better yet, next week, what I'm going to do is take all this to the next level, because I'm going to talk to you about how to build a board member engagement form as it relates to fundraising. Meaning, what are the important tasks that you can put together in a worksheet that the board members can sign up for to take your fundraising to the next level. Again, using their gifts and skills and their abilities and their interests and their time availability to support the fundraising efforts of your organization. Well, that's all the time for today. I want to thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Pass this along. And most important, remember, keep fueling your passion and giving back, because the world needs more people like you to make it a better place. Have a great day.